Hello everyone, Richard here, and today we're going to be looking at some of the changes and additions in the newest update for Killing Floor 2. Like with the previous Halloween updates, this one brings back the horror theme skins that we originally saw back in 2018. It also reintroduces the Halloween tickets, allowing you to earn themed cosmetic items for a limited time. However, the biggest additions are a new map, Hellmark Station, and 4 new weapons. Hellmark Station is a massive indoor map taking place in a train terminal overcome by hellish corruption. Its large size and variety of rooms make it attractive for both holding and kiting tactics. You can expect everything from open terminals, wide hallways, and narrow passages. The map, in my opinion, is pretty damn gorgeous and one of the best maps Tripwire has ever introduced to the game. It also features a hellish rage totem, allowing you to sacrifice health and the ability to heal for increased damage, movement speed, and fire damage for a limited time. There are also seasonal challenges associated with the map, requiring you to get 600 headshots and complete the map on Survival, Weekly, and Endless, at least until Wave 15. The 4 new weapons include 2 HRG weapons and 2 paid DLC weapons. The HRG offerings are the Scorcher for the Firebug and Arc Generator for the Survivalist. The paid DLC weapons include the world-famous Minigun for the Commando and the less famous Mine Reconstructor for the Field Medic. The Scorcher is a Tier 3 weapon and is a rework of the HX-25. Instead of firing a cluster of small bombs, it instead fires high-intensity incendiary flares. Its alt-fire drops several small flares in a linear path, creating a wall of fire roughly 10 meters long. Its primary fire mode makes it great for dealing with husks who are normally very resistant to fire damage. It is also potent against other mid and high tier enemies and can even kill Skrakes and Fleshpounds with a handful of headshots if upgraded. While it's not the cleanest or most consistent takedown thanks to latency issues, it's better than trying to use a flamethrower. The secondary fire is brutally efficient at dealing with trash enemies, especially in hallways and choke points. Paired with ground fire and pyromaniac, and the weapon becomes very powerful as a multi-purpose tool for the Firebug. Next, the Arc Generator gives the Survivalist another weapon of its own. The Arc Generator is a nice contrast to the Killer Watt, giving the perk a lot of crowd control ability while still dealing EMP affliction and damage. Unfortunately, the weapon suffers from being a survivalist weapon and gets no real substantial bonuses to it. Still, it can serve as a reliable trash killer without having to aim and the hassle of fire panic that you would normally get from a Firebug. This is especially true if you get a little bit of practice with its alt fire. It can also slow down enemies if a tough or undesirable situation occurs. The first of the paid DLC weapons, the Minigun, already has its own video, so I will provide a link to it here. I cover it in a fair amount of detail, so I would check that out if you are interested. Finally, the Mine Reconstructor, a, let's call it, unique weapon for the Field Medic. It essentially fires small healing mines that can be detonated remotely with alt fire or when a Zed steps into them. The size and power of the mine is determined by how long you hold the primary fire button when using the Reconstructor, similar to how the Husk Cannon works. This weapon serves a number of interesting purposes. First, it can watch a flank that doesn't normally get a ton of Zeds without having to dedicate an entire player. Second, it can give some healing to another group of players holding far away from the medic without the medic having to run a marathon back and forth. However, this weapon's novelty far outshines its utility. The medic class already has a very strong kit such as the 401, 501, Heal Thrower, and Incision. Weighing in at 8 kilograms limits your build potential significantly without giving you a big bonus. Overall, I would consider this weapon an easy pass in almost any case, although I'm sure it might have some very niche use cases. In other news, the update also features a handful of balance changes as well. First, Goomba stomping or jumping on top of enemies has been nerfed. Prior to this update, you could jump on bosses over and over again, keeping them permanently stun locked. Now, however, despite saying that they only added a cooldown, it seems to be removed almost entirely. While it is still possible, it is much less reliable to perform and will probably do more harm than good if it doesn't go according to plan. Next, the Heal Thrower was technically buffed, now wasting less ammo when healing and dealing more damage per shot, air quotes. It did get its fire rate reduced, but this ended up helping the weapon more than hurting. It also traded some poison damage for increased stumble power and added gun hit to the weapon's direct damage. The winter bites were also buffed, finally. They now have increased damage, projectile speed, accuracy, and in-cap. I haven't really messed around with them since, but all these changes sound like they are making the pistols a little bit more viable. It also seems that they will freeze enemies more reliably if you score direct hits, which makes more sense. However, I am probably overdue making a whole video for these weapons anyways. Finally, Sedative for the Field Medic received a complete overhaul. It now increases damage done by the perk during Zed time by 30% and causes Zeds to explode into healing/poison clouds. This essentially has a reflective effect of Airborne Agent. The extra damage will allow you to dispatch enemies faster, and the gas clouds can save teammates trapped behind enemy lines. This might be even more useful for teams that feature one or more Berserkers, as they will likely be close to enemies, allowing them to get heals from medic kills. Other than that, there are a host of small changes added that will be listed in the linked patch notes in the pinned comment and description. Let me know what you think of the update in the comment section below and post any questions there as well. Thank you very much for watching, but until next time, happy hunting and happy Halloween.